All right, back here on Sports Overtime. It's kind of become a tradition here, Thanksgiving Day weekend, or at least the Sunday of Thanksgiving Day weekend, when we bring in the state championship teams. And over the last 5 years, Peter Stuursma actually knows his way around the studios here at Wood TV because he's been here so often. Pioneers 35-27 winners last night over Orchard Lake St. Mary's to win the Division III state championship, along with quarterback Ryan Elble. Fellas, you know, it almost sounds like a broken record, I guess, for you guys at this point. But each year brings its own challenges, and you know, however you get to the mountaintop is going to be a different experience each time. What's it like now, you know, for you as a senior and for you as the head coach to win another one?
Oh, it's been fun. I mean, each year is a little different. This year was a little different. We've had our ups and downs throughout the season. It wasn't as easy as last year, I would say, but it's definitely special as a senior to be able to go out on top like this.
What about for you, Coach?
You know, every year is different because each team has a tendency to develop their own character and their own, as Ryan said, their ups and downs, their quirks, the things that you go through in the season that I know the other coaches will mention too, that you just don't really know about. No one else knows about the ups and downs, the things that maybe disagreements that occur within a team that you just, it's a big giant family, and so there's a lot of things that happen, and that to me is the rewarding part, is that journey of all the way from the beginning of two-a-days till now, to see what these kids have accomplished. And for these guys as seniors in particular, they've accomplished a tremendous amount. And it's special to watch them walk with that trophy off the field.
The road for you guys, in years past, I don't want to say your competition hasn't been anything great, or maybe it's the way you guys were playing in years past going through the playoffs. You just kind of would blow teams out on your way to the finals before you really had a challenge. But you had the 49-48 shootout with Grand Rapids Christian, the last second play against unbeaten Zeelandese. You had to knock off another unbeaten team in Mount Pleasant, and again had to go up against the team that you've met 3 of the last 4 years in Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I mean, this was one of these ones where you had to be there every single week to really earn this one.
It was definitely scary, and we, you know, as the playoff pairings came out, we looked at the road and said, wow, and of course we always focus just on that 1 week, but you could start to project out and say, wow, this could be a tough one for us to get there. And then, of course, I think, you know, as you mentioned in the past, we've been able to rest some of our guys at the end of the game, and I think that helps us in that long playoff stretch, but that was not the case this year. We had to play to the final bell, and we had to compete the entire time. And you know, again, that also gives you some of that big game experience that you can draw upon should it come down to that in the final game. But you know, we're just very fortunate to be where we are, and it's with guys like Ryan Elble that can make it happen.
Okay, you kind of lead me to my next point. I was down for the finals on Friday. I was back here yesterday, so I was not able to see your game firsthand, although, of course, we had it on TV in the office, as a lot of people around, I'm sure, the area were watching. And one of the guys on Fox Sports, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but they're, you know, televising the game, and they made a comment about Ryan, like, just look at him, just cool under pressure. It was like, you know, kind of a key point in the game, and they had the camera shot on you on the sideline, just cool and calm. Is that just kind of the way he is?
Right, just loves to play. Now, he is not always cool because he loves to compete, so he'll remind me of what plays that we should be calling. But he is, when he's having fun, and in a game like yesterday, we even talked on the way down, he was having fun. You can tell that because he makes a good play, comes over the sidelines and says, hey, what's the next play? Let's go. And that's fun to watch. And that, you know, there's so many of those traits that I think many of us wish we could have, and that type of pressure. He's just having fun and playing.
How much fun is that for you to be out there? I mean, regardless of what the situation is, if you're up big in a game, or if it's okay, hey, this is a key play. We've got a 3rd and 7. We've got to call a play that's going to work in this situation. And you know, from everything everyone's been seeing and what your coach is saying, you're there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I love being on the big stage like that, and I just try to play the best I can. But I mean, it was definitely a team effort yesterday. I felt like our line played real well, and it kind of made my job a little easier, especially with like Nick Mulholland, Dion all getting open. It definitely helps me out.
All right. 5 straight state championships. I know you've been hearing a lot about that. Ties, of course, Farmington Hills, Harrison, the teams from 1997 to 2001. Can you even put that into perspective? I mean, because you know, these guys have known nothing else than walking off the field the Saturday night of Thanksgiving weekend as state champs. You've been around all 5 years of these teams and coaching all 5 of these, and I'm sure they've each had their pluses and minuses, and each senior class has brought its own thing. But what's this been like for you, Coach, to do this 5 consecutive years?
Well, first of all, I think sometimes at least the kids in my family, and my wife and I laughed about this the other day, they think Thanksgiving weekend ends like this, and it really doesn't. That's not the reality. I think sometimes our little kids in our community think that way, and that brings some positives to it, no doubt. But to put it in perspective, it's really difficult because you're talking about Farmington Hills Harrison and what that program has meant throughout the state of Michigan. They're the bar that you set up there as being that level of something to achieve for it. And you know, really, I think we've never even talked about it with our players the week leading up to this event. We never really talked about it as a program because we didn't feel like that was something that was going to impact what we did on Saturday night. It was we needed to prepare that week. We needed to have a good practice week, and we needed to let our guys enjoy the experience. All week long, we said to our seniors, enjoy this. And when you have alumni that come back and tell our guys to enjoy it, I think that reminds them to just enjoy the experience.
So what's that like? Because I know I was out there talking with you guys last Monday, and you said, as the week goes on, we get to Wednesday, we get to Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of, especially for people that might be out of town, former players, guys start trickling back in, coming by the practice, coming by for Thanksgiving. What's that like for you guys to see former players, whether it be guys that you played with a year or two ago, or guys from way back that may have been showing up, and 50, 60 guys through the course of the week showing up?
Oh, it's really cool to see all the players come back. I mean, a lot of them are pretty my good friends. I don't really get to see anymore because they're off at college. But some of them that come back are the ones that I looked up to when I was a younger kid. And it's kind of cool to see that I'm the one now playing for a state championship and how much I respected them when they were. And it's just kind of cool to see all the changes.
Fun stuff, guys. Congrats, Ryan Elble, Peter Stuursma. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Chase.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
5 in a row for the Pioneers.